It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And off we go from Nashville. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come because they're blitzing to start this ball game, and it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Ward. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Ward. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Back to throw again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin Bush came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
In motion goes the tight end. Ward off the play fake. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Left side complete to Lockett. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
Remember when the conversation was, is Joe Flacco elite? Well, at one point he was elite enough to not only win a Super Bowl, but be named the MVP of that game. And for a time, one of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league. Not bad for a young man who transferred to Delaware from Pitt while in college. This guy has had a great career. Not many chances now to lead an offense, but still capable if put on the field.
Going over the middle, and it's in.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just need. More air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incompletion, they'll try. More from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Sanders. That's caught left side by Judy. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Operating from the gun. Sanders. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery. Moore. This will be caught at about the 5. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. Pollard fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Sly able to put this one through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Sanders. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Going up top. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Jefferson moving in motion left. Here's Ward throwing to start the drive. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Rough incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Sanders. He finds his man. Complete. It's 4th. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense set to go again. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Going to run again here with Pollard. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd down and 10. Operating from the gun. Ward. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Ward. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
In motion, the tight end. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Ward. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And really, they're pretty fortunate right now to only be down 3-0 following 2 turnovers. They've got it now 1st and 10. They will start this drive with Ford. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down at a yard. Again, they turn to Ford. Breaks a tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Not just a cover guy, Roger McCreary getting back behind the line of scrimmage on that play. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. The handoff to Ford up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now 2nd and 9. In motion comes the tight end left. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 22-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. As Sanders has it poked free. It's picked up by the Titans. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Out come the Titans now.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the fumble recovery, Ward. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll look to throw here on first down.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Off the play fake, Ward. He hits his target, Lockett. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21.
A nice throw from the rookie out of Miami, and it's going to be good for a first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Off play action. Ward. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
Here now a 3rd and 20.
Back to throw. Ward.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Out quickly to Judy.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's a 2nd and 7. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. This is Ford. They find some open field here.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Sanders. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Looking to throw. Sanders. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Ford is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Brandon, we've seen an incomplete pass and an attempted run, not getting them anywhere at all. I'm not sure they're committed on this drive about what they want to do. I just wonder if they just say, listen, let's line up and run this thing and make it 4-down territory.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Jerome Ford taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Browns have taken the lead. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Ward now throwing to start the drive. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down, shedding through the defense. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second and 1. He finds his man, Pollard, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Pollard will take it up the gut.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Ward throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. In motion left goes a tight end. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They run with Ford.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Sanders now. From the gun, he'll throw.
Into the hands of Cedric Tillman.
It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well, as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Looking to throw. Ward.
That's complete to Traylon Burks.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Second down and 8.
Operating from the gun, Sanders.
Throw left side, he's got Tillman.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
That's caught left side by Judy.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
Woods, the receiver, in motion left. They'll look to throw again.
Right back to Judy, and it's complete.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again.
He'll get the hook up there to Woods.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
The Titans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down and 6 now.
Back to throw. Sanders.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 49 yards.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Ford. And he takes this one in for a Brown score.
Jerome Ford
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now Ward throwing to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Ward, off play action. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Before he's out of bounds. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the 1st down.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Ward from the gun on 3rd down. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on for the 5th time here today. The Browns offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to throw. Sanders.
Right back to Njoku.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. Sanders.
Open man, that's Tillman.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's Sanders off the play fake. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Call it a gain of a yard, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He'll get this complete to Tillman.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Ward.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they'll get to him right away as he's taken down right there at the 44. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a give here to Pollard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Warren, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here comes Carter. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Browns offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Sanders. He finds his man, complete. It's 4th. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Ford. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Block it in motion right.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 9.
Here's Pollard. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Ward.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
In motion right is Ridley.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. 2nd and 11. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
They'll send a tight end in motion right.
Hand off to Spears.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. 1st down, and it's Pollard again.
And he's got it to about the 40.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Ward now. Off play action.
And that is dropped. Oh, that could have been a near certain 6 points. He was all alone, but he could not look it in. My, oh, my.
If I'm making excuses, and I am, sometimes the sun can be difficult on a ball like that. That looked like it was going to be right there, but it's in and out of his hands. And a potential big play goes by the wayside.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11. And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within 1 score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field with.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42.
And they'll bring Judy in motion right. And he'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Cody Barton there to bring him down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8.
The tight end in motion right.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And the Titans getting set to go.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. Ward.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. On the return, Carter. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
In motion goes the tight end. They will start this drive with Ford. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Again, they turn to Ford. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Back to throw. Sanders. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on 3rd down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Titans now just about ready to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw is Ward from the gun on third down.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
So the fourth down conversion sets him up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40. In motion right is Ridley.
Now Ward off the play fake. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Sanders, his throw incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important third down.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Looking to throw. Sanders. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Throwing to start the drive. Ward.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Ward.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Ward. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Now Sanders. Off play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Sanders. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. This is Ford. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Sanders.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground with Spears.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back to throw now on 1st down.
A shot downfield for Burks.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Ward. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
That's to the tight end, Wiley.
But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing to start the drive. Ward looking middle, and it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. He hits his target, Lockett. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Returning right back to Lockett.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ward off the play fake.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Josh Wiley
from 6 yards away.
And the Titans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. It's 4.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. That is caught. And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense. with 1:53 left.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Up the middle they go. It's Ford, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle.